Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestlers Break and to another edition of NXT 2.0 out of 10. Big show today, we've got a lot going on, the title battles are really heating up now. We're kind of getting into WrestleMania season. There's this NXT special event, WrestleMania weekend, and I imagine a few in between that as well. So let's get straight into it with the Creed brothers and Roderick Strong against Imperium. Brawl broke out before the match started, and after the ring was cleared, Brutus and Fabian kicked off the match. Brutus hit a Death Valley driver before Fabian tagged in Marcel. Strong was tagged in and hit some big moves before Gunther came in and took Roderick down. After a break, Julius Creed got a near fall before tagging in Brutus for a double team reminiscent of the Viking Raiders. Roderick and Gunther then tagged in, and Strong first powerbomb with a big flying knee off the ropes. Brutus was tagged back in before the rest of Imperium dragged Roderick outside. Brutus tried to help Strong, but Gunther came in with a clothesline and a massive powerbomb, picking up the victory for his team. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. This was a really fun match. Of course it's going to be great with those 6 men involved. Really good start to the show. LA Knight was cutting a backstage promo on NXT and called out Grace and Waller before Joe Gacy and Haaland offered their help in dealing with a restraining order. Toxic Attraction was out next and called out India and Persia, but Kaylee Ray came out and asked for a title shot against Rose. Ray and Rose were in the ring, and Mandy talks about how magazine covers she has been working on, while KLR mentioned her record-breaking NXT UK title run. Ray shoved Mandy down and the rest of Toxic Attraction came after her, but KLR got the baseball bat and chased them off. Yeah, this was kind of a recurring theme throughout the show, but yeah, a good little thing to start off in segments. Jade was then backstage and said that she was going to beat Raquel Gonzalez. Before Mandy Rose, we had another one of these sticks, and her team were trying to flee in the area, but the doors in their SUV was locked. Kaylee Ray was in and the driver's seat, and she drove away with Gigi and JC in the car as Mandy wondered what her plans were for the tag team champs. Before we did get Jade versus Raquel Gonzalez, Raquel had the advantage and tossed Jade around. Jade was getting pummeled in the corner and tried to cross body, but got caught and hit with a slam. Jade then was still taking a beating before catching Raquel in a submission hold. Jane came back with a roll up before getting some big hook and a Hurricane Rana off the ropes. Jade got caught in a Shinoga bomb before Gonzalez got the win. After the match, Gonzalez came back and shook Jade's hand before finally agreeing to team up for the Women's Dusty Cup. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Decent enough match and definitely a right result for me, and interesting to see what they do in the Dusty Cup. Backstage, Pete Dunne challenged Tony D'Angelo to a steel cage match before Saray made her return against Kayla Inlay. Inlay got chopped before the bell rang, and once the match started, Saray got some big moves in the corner. Inlay took control of the match and kicked Saray into the corner before locking the hold in the middle of the ring. Saray broke out and hit Inlay with some strikes before getting a double stomp. The Japanese superstar set up Inlay on the ropes before hitting a double drop kick for the win. The match was fine, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. To be honest, it just kind of didn't feel like much was going on. I really wanted a story to develop it, and we didn't really get that here, so a bit disappointing. Before backstage on NXT, Bron Breakker asked Ciampa why he was helping him. Ciampa said he was doing it out of respect and wanted to see Breakker stay the champ. Carmelo Hayes was out next, and Cameron Grimes came out to interrupt the promo. They called each other games before Melo said he would beat Grimes at Vengeance Day, and that was it basically. Backstage, Inofi and Blade were trying to decide what to call their team before Mandy asked them to help as she was being chased by Kaylee Ray, of course. Before we got LA Knight versus Joe Gacy. Knight lost Strong and got a neck break before kicking Gacy into the corner. Gacy came in with some big kicks and locked in a submission before Knight took a big slam. Knight then took an elbow to the face before Gacy set him up on the ropes. Outside the ring, Waller and his friend came in and hit Stunner on Knight before he was nearly cancelled out. Back in the ring, Gacy got an easy pin off the lariat. After the match, Waller cornered Knight as Zanga took him out. Waller said that if Knight could beat Zanga next week, Grayson would face the former Impact star. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Really fun match you'd expect between these two. Enjoyable stuff from start to finish. I'd love to see that match next week. Backstage, Robert Stones admitted that he paid Von Wagner's fines and said that he would do it again because he was a future champion. Interesting alliance that. Be interesting to see where it goes. Before we got Amari Miller versus Wendy Cho, we saw Tiffany Stratton trying to bribe Miller before the match to teach Chu a lesson. Miller had the early advantage, but Chu got a big move and took her down with a suplex. Chu then got another suplex before locking in a sleeper hold before Miller got a near fall. Stratton came out with her credit card and distraction leading again to Wendy kicking up the win, but Chu got the pin on the second try. After the match, we saw Wendy run away with Stratton's credit card. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, kind of mildly enjoying this. Before backstage, Persia Porter was talking about Duke Hudson when Brooks and Jensen walked in and asked her and Indy for relationship advice. We got a short promo from Nikita Lyons before Saray was in a backstage interview, and Dakota Kai dropped by to taunt her. Hopefully that's the feud that I was talking about earlier. And before we got Andre Chase versus Draco Anthony. Sorry, Chase was taken down early on before Draco got a neck breaker for a near fall. Draco then hit a spear in the corner as we continued to be in control. Chase got some big kicks, and then the Chase University came out, but that led to him being wiped out. Chase got a flatliner to pick up the win. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not a bad debut for Draco, to be fair. Interesting to see if he's featured a bit more. But yeah, Chase picking up the win wasn't a classic. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Mandy Rose was then in catering area where Kaylee Ray dumped a bottle of spaghetti on her head and hit her with a giant cake before NXT moved on. Oh god. Ciampa and Wild kicked off the match as Ciampa's team would break to take on Legado del Fantasma, and a former champ was in control before tagging in Breaker for a big double team move. Escobar ran in with a distraction from the outside before sending him into the steel stairs. Ciampa was back in control in the ring and laid out Legado with clotheslines in either corner before tagging Breaker in for another double team move. Escobar got on the apron and for another distraction before Breaker got a spear. It didn't work. Wild was put through the announcer's desk by Ciampa, and Breaker picked up his finisher for the win. After the match, Escobar taunted Breaker as the show went off the air. Yeah, I'll go with 7 out of 10. Fun enough main event, and definitely the right result. Interesting to see where it goes though. Kaylee Ray and Mandy Rose ended up back in the ring after that, and Ray threatened Mandy into giving her a title match next week before kicking her down and hitting a KLR bomb as NXT went off the air. I think it's a long-winded way to get to that, but you know, it provided us with a bit of entertainment throughout the show, so I'm not complaining. 7 out of 10. Overall this week, NXT gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, actually a pretty enjoyable episode of NXT this week. The show started off really well. Decent match between Knight and Gacy in between. That whole Mandy Rhodes and Kaylee Ray stuff was interesting. And of course the tag team main event as well was pretty solid. So yeah, on the whole, a solid show. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't thoughts, comments, down below. Follow us with the link description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!